This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening to you here at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins. Amanda has the night off. We start tonight with violence in Indianapolis. One man is dead and another is in critical condition after a shooting in broad daylight near a park on the north side. Police found the men around 4:45 this afternoon on Haverford Avenue and 46th Street right by Arsenal Park. Detectives are investigating the case as a homicide. We will bring you more updates as we learn more here. And a shooting on the east side left one person in critical condition. Officers were called to Gladstone Avenue near Michigan Street around 6 o'clock this evening. No other information has been released. A 68-year-old woman accused of hitting people with her van during a downtown protest is now charged with criminal recklessness tonight. Witnesses say Diane Goebel hit multiple people with her minivan as she drove through a group of protesters on Monument Circle Monday evening. The prosecutor's office says at least 4 people were hurt. According to court documents, Goebel called 911 after driving through the crowd. Westfield Middle School is investigating a racist incident reported by a student. Tonight, that student and her family are sharing what happened with RTV6.
She asked for the students to turn on their cameras, and that's when the children began chanting the N-word to Shayla once she turned her camera on.
The mother of 13-year-old Shayla Johnson says that incident during an e-learning session is just one of many racist bullying attacks against her daughter this school year. The family says they've had several conversations and meetings with the administration, but the bullying continued. Shayla's parents want more training for faculty and staff on how to better protect students.
I felt like no one really cared about how I felt. There's only a select few I felt that actually cared where I was and what happened.
It's out of your control and you want to be there for your child and protect them. And I think that's what really hurts.
Shayla is no longer enrolled at Westfield. In a video statement to parents, the principal of Westfield Middle School said officials are working to identify the individuals involved in this bullying. And the Westfield, Washington school superintendent addressed the issue this week at the school board meeting, saying, quote, "Racism, intolerance, and harassment of our students and staff will not be tolerated. We acknowledge we have room to grow as a school district, and we are committed to the work it will take to ensure equitable treatment of all students," end quote. Racial slurs and other offensive messages can no longer be seen along a trail in Muncie. Today, hundreds of people volunteered to erase the hate. Muncie police say earlier this week someone spray painted graffiti on Cardinal Greenway. They wanted to get rid of the messages fast, so they asked the community to help. That response was overwhelming.
I think it's our responsibility as each individual that we need to step up right now and take action and show that we're all together and unified.
It means a lot to me that they came today and cleaned it up, because I've seen it many times, and you just put your blinders on and you go, but it shouldn't be.
Organizers say thanks to so many volunteers, it took less than an hour to cover up the graffiti. An event aimed at bringing people together is planned in downtown Indianapolis tomorrow. The Unity in the Community block party is scheduled from noon to 4 p.m. on Ohio Street between Pennsylvania and Delaware. You're encouraged to support a couple of local businesses. The DR Barber Salon and Michael's Soul Kitchen both suffered damage 2 weeks ago after protests turned destructive. New at 11 tonight, an Indianapolis mother has been missing for days. A search party was on the streets tonight hoping to find clues in her disappearance. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is working for you with the message that her family wants you to hear.
On the west side of Indianapolis, an army of men and women, some of them complete strangers, are going door to door to find Chanel Gilbert.
Mission today is to look for Miss Chanel, who has been missing since June 9th. We need answers. We want to know where she is, and we're out here today to look for her and see, hopefully, that we can find something that can give us answers to where she is.
The substitute teacher, loving mother, and grandmother was last known to be in the Sungate subdivision near Rockville and Girl School Roads in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Daniette Smith organized the search party and is speaking on behalf of Gilbert's daughters, who say their mother always stays in close contact.
For her children, her friends, her family, this is so unlike her. This is not her. They are extremely worried. And we just need answers.
Gilbert was last seen wearing a black sweatsuit with a black tote purse and braided hair. This group is asking anyone with information to contact police immediately so this mother can be back with her family.
On behalf of her daughters truly miss her. They cannot wait until she returns home. And each hour, each moment is agonizing and definitely scary for them. There's a full community, there's a full force, there's power behind this, and we're here to use that power to look for her.
On the west side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Again, if you have any information, call IMPD directly or call Crime Stoppers to remain anonymous. That number 317-262-TIPS. You can find that phone number and get another look at the details of Chanel Gilbert's disappearance right now at theindychannel.com. Now to the latest on the toll the COVID-19 pandemic is taking on Hoosier lives. 2,214 deaths are now blamed on the virus, according to the State Department of Health. 16 newly reported deaths happened between May 9th and yesterday. More than 335,000 people have been tested, and just under 12% have tested positive. The Centers for Disease Control is issuing a grim new warning about the pandemic, predicting that as many as 25,000 Americans could die between now and the 4th of July. ABC's Doreen Shaw reports this comes as COVID-19 deaths and hospitalizations rise in several states.
As streets and businesses once again fill up, so are many of the nation's hospitals. A new ABC News analysis finding daily deaths from the coronavirus increasing in 13 states. Hospitalizations on the rise in at least 8 states, including Texas. The sharp increase may be attributed to Memorial Day gatherings and protests, according to the governor's medical experts. The CDC now with a dire warning that as many as 140,000 Americans could die of the virus before Independence Day. The Institute warning people if they attend large events to check beforehand if staff will wear masks. And if you're attending a cookout, try bringing your own food in addition to wearing a mask and social distancing. Dr. Anthony Fauci stressing today any crowded place is risky when asked about the president's upcoming rally and ongoing protests.
The best way that you can avoid either acquiring or transmitting infection is to avoid crowded places, to wear a mask whenever you're outside.
His warning coming as a second visitor from one of these massive Memorial Day pool parties in the Ozarks now tests positive. As cases around the country are going up, so are cancellations. New York State Health Commissioner canceling summer sleepaway camps, fearing social distancing will be difficult. Oregon pulling back from easing restrictions after cases jumped. Their governor delaying reopening applications by 1 week.
We don't make the timeline. The virus makes the timeline.
That was Doreen Shaw reporting. As another precaution, the Department of Transportation is now distributing 100 million face coverings to airports, transit agencies, and Amtrak for passengers. New at 11, a North Side restaurant that had to limit service due to COVID-19 is facing another setback tonight. Juicy Seafood Restaurant and Bar near 86th and Township Line Road caught fire around 9 o'clock tonight. Some staff members were inside, but no one was hurt. According to the restaurant's website, dine-in service was set to resume on Monday. Now it's unclear if that will be possible. As the financial fallout from the pandemic continues, a local organization says food assistance is the top request coming into its help hotline, and the group is answering that call. Today, cars lined up for 4 hours before a food drive at ML and Trip Mentoring Outreach Center on the northeast side of Indianapolis. 500 families received a 50-pound box full of food there. Nicole Calhoun is grateful for the donation. She says it can be difficult to ask for help.
Shows the community or just people who are scared to try to reach out to folks that we're just like you. They're just like you. We're all alike. And just because you're having a hard time figuring out your grocery bill, your light bill, whatever it may be, it should be no judgment. It doesn't matter.
McFarling Foods is partnering with ML and Trip Outreach to make the giveaways like this possible. And you can help people in need during your next trip to Kroger. RTV6 is teaming up with the grocery chain to support Second Helpings. From June 15th to June 21st, you can round up your grocery bill or select a donation amount of your choice when you check out at select Kroger locations. The proceeds will go directly to Second Helpings. RTV6 and the Scripps Howard Foundation will match up to $12,000 in donations. For more information, go to theindychannel.com/feeding Hoosiers. As people around the world celebrate Pride Month throughout throughout June. We're bringing you an update on a local student we first told you about in February. Molly Downey lives in Pendleton. She reached out to us after her son, Gage, who is gay, attempted to take his own life. In Madison County, there aren't a lot of resources or outlets for LGBTQ youth, and Molly wanted to bring some awareness to that issue and hopefully change it. Tonight, RTV6's Cornelius Hawker gives us a look at how Gage is doing now.
Whether he's on a gym mat or a trampoline at home, Gage Downey is always tumbling and doing flips. It's a big part of his life.
I enjoy knowing that I can impact the lives of others around me.
Despite a few setbacks, like not making his high school cheerleading squad, things are looking up for Gage. He tells me he's helping start a youth cheerleading program in his hometown, which makes him and a lot of parents happy.
We're just starting it around our town. They'll be cheering for the youth football leagues at their games. They just wanted something that wasn't so competitive.
He has all these new opportunities that he didn't have.
Gage's mom, Molly, is over the moon excited for her son, who gets to pass along his love of cheer.
The middle school coach at Pendleton actually reached out to him, and she's paying him to help. Like, he's going to be the assistant coach for the middle school cheerleaders.
Just 4 months ago, Molly worried her son wouldn't be able to find his place in this world. But through community support and a lot of love, all of that has changed.
And I'm proud of him and the community, too. I mean, I would have never thought he'd be coaching little girls in cheer.
Find what you like to do, stick with it, be yourself. That's the best thing you can be.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And when the youth cheerleading team is officially approved in Pendleton, we'll be sure to post the information for parents interested in getting their kids involved or just wanting to show some support. Kevin.
A generally dry forecast. I say generally because I'll show you when we may see just a couple exceptions to that.
And next, an Indianapolis couple married for more than 6 decades shows that COVID-19 cannot stop their love.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, an emotional reunion at an assisted living center on the north side of Indianapolis. Hooverwood Living shared this moment on social media. The facility says this couple spent 5 weeks apart due to COVID-19. Joyce and Dawn were able to reunite after Joyce graduated from the COVID unit.
You're beautiful. So wonderful. You look so wonderful.
I look so terrible.
No, so beautiful. You look so beautiful.
The center says the couple has been married for 67 years. They wrapped up the celebration by holding up a sign that says, COVID-19 can't stop our love. What a beautiful story there tonight. And a beautiful evening to have that beautiful story on, Kevin.
Temperatures are comfortable right now. Humidity is low, and we'll get into the changes for the weekend here in just a second. Mark, we made it to 84 in Indy, but other spots in the western portion of the state, almost 90 degrees. We won't be that warm tomorrow. There's a cold front. We call it a backdoor cold front because it's actually coming from north to south, almost northeast to southwest. You see it generating that little line of clouds and a few specks of green. If we see any exception to my dry forecast, it would be a couple of sprinkles, especially in the northern portion of the state first thing in the morning. The air's so dry, though, I think that's working against that. So I'm just showing you that just to be extra careful. Temperature 76 tomorrow. We will see a few more clouds than we had today as a result of that cold front. Sunday morning, 52 degrees. Sunday afternoon, temperatures a little cooler, 74, with a decent amount of sunshine. Okay, as far as humidity, we'll hold that off until we start to get into next week. That's when the humidity climbs, and you see it start to peak on Thursday. The temperature will be climbing during that time period as well, back into the upper 80s. Not too windy tomorrow. Now, remember, these are the gusts. Our winds will generally be 5 to 10 miles per hour. Could see a little stronger gust than that, but certainly not windy compared to our recent standards here this week. Temperatures from north to south will be a little cooler north and east of Indy tomorrow. because of that cold front sagging south, so the cooler air gets there first. Temperatures from Terre Haute and Bloomington and Columbus a lot cooler than today, but you'll still manage to hit 80 for the high temperature. I want to talk about overnight Saturday into Sunday. Southwest portions of the state could see a sprinkle or two. There you go, 7 a.m. Sunday. That's pretty much a morning thing, and then zips on out of here, and we're left with lots of sunshine for the rest of the day. Temperatures are coolest in the morning hours. On Sunday and Monday, our average low is 61. We'll be in the 50s. 74, the magic number, Sunday afternoon. The wind will be rather light out of the northeast. If you're looking for warmer temperatures, these are the coolest Sunday, the base temperature from which will warm up. So as we start talking about the warmer temperatures, we'll be back to 87 by Wednesday. Later next week, upper 80s. And with that, the humidity that I mentioned and the chance for thunderstorms. Many of you may start to think, oh, it's getting dry out there. You might see a little dust fly when you mow the lawn over the weekend, but we'll get some rain back, it looks like, later next week. Everybody have a great weekend. Mark?
You too, Kevin. Thank you for that. With calls for police reforms in the spotlight, some tech giants are saying they will not sell facial recognition software to law enforcement departments for now. The technology is not new, and Scripps reporter Amanda Brandeis learned it's more common than many of us may realize.
From property crime to cold cases and missing people, facial recognition software is routine in police departments nationwide.
So in general, what they're looking for, of course, is felons.
But there's a good chance your photo is also in the system. A 2016 Georgetown law report found 1 in 2 American adults are in a law enforcement face recognition network. In addition to mugshots, social media photos, and surveillance video, many cities allow searches of driver's license databases.
How is it that we are comfortable being monitored? At what level is the what we call false positive rate okay?
Computer science professor Steve Beatty says right now there's little oversight, which civil liberty advocates say puts our privacy and civil rights in jeopardy.
It appears these programs have what we call biases in them, that they're biased towards a certain skin tones, for example, and will make more mistakes with certain types of people than other types of people.
In 2018, MIT looked at 3 software programs. White men were misidentified 1% of the time compared to 35% of dark-skinned women.
The computers, I don't think, have any inherent bias, but they can only learn from the data sets that they are provided with.
And while the technology has proved to be a useful crime-fighting tool, a case of mistaken identity can mean police looking into an innocent person's private life unnecessarily.
I think it is a good idea to take a step back and say, what is it that we as a society want from our facial recognition technology? And that's exactly what Amazon has come out and said.
Along with Microsoft and IBM, the companies are looking at lawmakers to govern the technology's ethical use.
It'll be a way to track every single person in a crowd simply because they show up to exercise their First Amendment rights.
Albert Fox Kahn founded the Surveillance Technology Oversight Project.
We also need to follow the lead of states like California, who have enacted bans on the use of facial recognition on body cam footage.
As companies reevaluate how their technology is used by police officers, the question is, will the public continue to do the same? I'm Amanda Brandeis reporting.
More than 90 pounds of drugs will not make it to their final destination thanks to a drug-sniffing dog in Indianapolis. Balbina works for U.S. Customs and Border Protection. On Monday, the dog sniffed out 59 pounds of meth and 32 pounds of marijuana in shipments at the FedEx sorting facility at Indianapolis International Airport. The agency says the drugs are worth more than $700,000. In March, Balbina detected a shipment of fentanyl worth $1.5 million. Way to go there. The Rebound Indiana is finding out how state agencies are helping Hoosiers impacted by the pandemic and ways that are not so obvious. Indiana's Executive Director of Drug Prevention, Treatment and Enforcement says COVID-19 restrictions and the lack of access to in-person treatment has been brutal for people struggling with addiction. He says around 4,700 people in Indiana have overdosed this year, a 35% increase compared to this time last year. That's why the state's partnered with the nonprofit organization Overdose Lifeline to fund 25,000 doses of naloxone all across the state. Now people like Dottie Grubb, whose son is battling addiction, can always have the life-saving drug on hand.
it's not really a choice. I mean, it's a disease. So they struggle with this. Do they want to be an addict? Absolutely not. You know, they hate every day that they experience that. So naloxone and all the money that's put forth, all the things that we do for it, is because it gives them hope that they have another day of reaching recovery.
Every person that overdoses is someone's brother, someone's mother, son, daughter. So it's important that we have this life-saving drug available for everyone.
You can request naloxone from Overdose Lifeline's website or send an email to contact@overdoselifeline.org. You can find that information by going to theindychannel.com/rebound. Here are some other resources the Rebound is shining a light on, from an app that helps parents keep kids busy in a constructive way to mental health support for first responders.
My thanks that they can relate to us so we can relate to them.
That's what the free support group does for Kokomo Fire Captain Jason Braden, giving firefighters, police officers, emergency management crews, healthcare workers, even grocery store employees the space to release their stress and emotions they're so bravely holding in right now to serve the public. Turning Point, an organization that helps those who suffer from addiction or mental health issues, is now holding free confidential meetings 3 times a week, several times a day, accounting for different shifts responders might work, that are led by mental health providers and frontline staff peers on the video chat service Zoom.
We want them to leave the meetings feeling good, inspired, and understanding there's people that care about them and love them and appreciate what they're doing.
It's been like one long, never-ending day.
Lisa and her husband are working parents, raising 2 boys and a girl, keeping track of work and e-learning schedules, and preparing meals and cleaning the house can become mind-boggling.
The kids naturally gravitate towards wanting to play games all day if you don't give them some structure.
An app called Busy Kid is helping provide that structure while giving Lisa some peace of mind. The app's creator explains how it works.
Kids can go earn some money by doing chores around the house, and all a parent has to do is go in, look it over, approve the payday, and then we're going to pull the money out of their bank account and bring it into our system.
Through the app, the kids receive a debit card, and they learn a valuable lesson about money management.
Days. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
There are still many questions when it comes to COVID-19 and the risk of exposure. Tonight, our partners at Newsy are getting answers about enjoying the outdoors.
When it comes to getting sick with COVID-19, you might be thinking about this, and we have too. Danny asked,
I want to go camping this summer, and I'm wondering, what's the risk of getting COVID-19?
We asked the experts. Their take, contracting COVID-19 from camping is low risk.
It's really not as much about the camping, but who you're interacting with.
You're spending much of your time outdoors, and we know the risk of transmission outdoors is low as well.
Where the risk could come in is if, there were shared showers, and then how those showers are managed. Is there somebody that cleans those showers? And ultimately, it's going to still come down to that social distancing piece of it. And if you're going to go to the showers and there's 3 stalls, then you should go with your 3 family members that, are with you. For restrooms, everybody should be washing their hands when they leave the restroom, no matter what, pre-COVID. So I think that really corrects for any risk there, as long as social distancing can be maintained.
If you have a question about your risk, email us a video question to what'stherisk@newsy.com.
Even have to leave your house.
Remember, a quick shower possible north of Indy first thing in the morning. Otherwise, sunshine and 76 for the high tomorrow, Mark.
Everyone enjoy the weekend and be safe. Thanks for joining us.